On our 5th anniversary, I cooked his favorite meal and waited in my red dress, but he never came home, and that's when I found the photo that shattered everything. I was 27 years old. I stood on stage under bright lights. The music started. I began to dance. My body moved fast. My feet touched the floor softly. I sang and I danced. The people watched me. They loved me. I felt alive. My name is Imelda. I was a dancer. I was a singer. Every night I performed on stage. People came to see me. They clapped and smiled. I wore red dresses. I wore blue dresses. My hair was long and free. I felt happy. One night, a man came. He sat in the front row. He watched me all night. His eyes never left me. He came back the next night, and the next night, and the next night. His name was Curtis. He was tall and handsome. He wore expensive suits. He smiled at me. After the show, he sent roses. Red roses. So many red roses. My dressing room was full of flowers. One day, he waited outside. "You were beautiful tonight," he said. I smiled. "Thank you," I said. "Can I take you to dinner?" he asked. I said yes. Curtis took me to expensive restaurants. He bought me gifts. He said beautiful words. "You shine so bright," he said. "This small stage is too small for you. I want to take care of you. You work too hard. You don't need to struggle anymore." I listened to his words. They made me feel special. They made me feel safe. I thought he loved me. I thought this was love. We went out every night. He held my hand. He opened doors for me. He paid for everything. I felt like a princess. I felt like I found my happy ending. But then things changed. Small things at first. One day, he looked at my costume. "That dress is too short," he said. "It shows too much." I laughed. "It's my stage costume," I said. He didn't laugh. Another day, he watched my partner. My dance partner was Marco. Marco was my friend. We danced together for 3 years. "He looks at you wrong," Curtis said. "What do you mean?" I asked. "He doesn't respect you," Curtis said. "I don't like him." I felt confused. Marco was just my friend, but Curtis seemed upset. So I stopped talking to Marco so much. Then the big moment came. A dance company from Europe called me. They wanted me for a tour, 6 months in Europe, big stages. Good money. I was so excited. I told Curtis. He became quiet. 6 months? He said. "That's a long time, but it's my dream," I said. He looked sad. He looked sick. "If you go, you choose fame over me," he said. "You choose dancing over our future, over our family." I felt terrible. I loved Curtis. I wanted a family. I wanted love. My friends said, "Go to Europe. This is your chance. Don't give up your dream." But Curtis said, "Real love means sacrifice. If you love me, you stay." I made my choice. I called the dance company. I said no. I canceled everything. My friends were angry. "You're making a mistake," they said. But I stopped talking to them. I believed Curtis loved me. I believed I was doing the right thing. Curtis smiled. "I'm so proud of you," he said. "Now we can be together forever." 3 months later, we got married. The wedding was huge. There were flowers everywhere. There was expensive food. There was music. But my friends weren't there. My dance friends weren't there. I felt alone. That night, I looked at my dancing shoes. They were old and worn. They were beautiful to me. I held them in my hands. Curtis walked in. "You don't need those anymore," he said. I put them in a box. I closed the box. I sealed it with tape. I put the box in the closet. I became Mrs. Curtis. I stopped being Imelda the dancer. I stopped being Imelda the singer. I thought I was happy. I thought I was loved. I didn't know the truth yet. I didn't know I just walked into a cage. The door closed behind me. I didn't hear it lock. 5 years passed. I woke up at 6 o'clock. The bedroom was cold. The bed was big. Curtis slept far away from me. He didn't touch me anymore. I got up quietly. I didn't want to wake him. I walked through the house. The house was huge. Every room was perfect. White walls, expensive furniture, clean floors, no dust anywhere. But the house felt dead. It felt like a museum. Nothing moved. Nothing made noise. Even my footsteps sounded wrong. I went to the kitchen. I made coffee. Black coffee. No sugar. That's how Curtis liked it. I didn't drink coffee anymore. My stomach hurt too much. I ironed his shirts. 5 shirts every morning. They had to be perfect, no wrinkles. Curtis checked them every time. Then I waited. I sat in the living room. I looked at the clock. 7 o'clock. Curtis woke up. He drank his coffee. He didn't say good morning. He left for work. The door closed. I was alone again. I looked at myself in the mirror. I didn't recognize the woman there. She wore a gray dress, a beige cardigan. Her hair was pulled back tight. Her face looked tired. Her eyes looked empty. Who was this woman? This wasn't me. I was Imelda. I was a dancer. I was a singer. But now I was just Mrs. Curtis. I touched my throat. I used to sing every day. My voice used to fill rooms. Now my throat felt closed, tight, empty. I touched my legs. They used to dance. They used to move like water. Now they felt heavy, like stones, like dead weight. I cooked dinner. I spent 3 hours on dinner. I made Curtis's favorite food. I set the table nicely. I lit candles. Curtis came home at 9 o'clock. He was late. He was always late now. He sat down. He didn't look at me. He looked at his phone. He ate my food. He didn't say anything. He didn't say if it was good. He just ate and scrolled. I tried to talk. "How was work?" I asked. "Fine," he said. He didn't look up. I went to clean the kitchen. I started to hum, just a small song, a quiet song. His voice was sharp. "I have a headache. I need silence." I stopped. I stopped making any sound. I finished cleaning in silence. Later, I went to the bathroom. I looked in the mirror again. I really looked this time. The woman in the mirror looked sick. too thin. Her skin was pale. Her eyes had dark circles. I touched the mirror. "Where did you go?" I whispered. "Where did Imelda go?" I had no answer. I had no friends anymore. Curtis said they were jealous. "They don't want us to be happy," he said. "They are toxic people." So I stopped calling them. I stopped seeing them. I had no money either. Curtis gave me an allowance. Like a child. $50 a week for small things, he said. But he checked every receipt. "Why did you buy this?" he asked. "Why did you go there? Who did you talk to?" I felt like a prisoner in a golden palace. I had everything. A big house, expensive things, beautiful clothes I never wore, but I had nothing. I had no self. At night, I lay in bed. Curtis slept next to me, but he felt far away, like a stranger, like someone I never knew. I stared at the ceiling. I remembered the stage. I remembered the lights. I remembered dancing. I remembered feeling alive. That felt like another life. That felt like another person. Was that really me? Did I really shine once? Now I was nothing. I was nobody. I was just a shadow, a ghost in a big house, a wife with no husband, a woman with no life. The silence pressed down on me. It filled my lungs. It filled my chest. I couldn't breathe. But I didn't cry. I forgot how to cry. I just lay there, in the dark, in the cold, in the silence, waiting for something, anything. But nothing came. Nothing ever came. One day was our anniversary, 5 years of marriage. I wanted to do something special. I wanted to try again. Maybe Curtis would see me. Maybe he would remember me. I went to the closet. I found my old red dress, the dress from my dancing days. I put it on. It hung loose on my body. I was too thin now, but it was still red, still beautiful. I cooked all day. I made his favorite dishes. I made steak. I made potatoes. I made a chocolate cake. I set the table with candles. I put on lipstick. I put on perfume. I waited. 7 o'clock came. No Curtis. I sat at the table. The candles burned. No call. No message. 10 o'clock came. The candles were almost finished. My stomach hurt. Where was he? Midnight came. I blew out the candles. I sat in the dark. I stared at my phone. Nothing. Then I heard a sound. A ping. It came from the living room. Curtis's tablet was on the couch. He forgot it at home. The screen was bright. I saw a photo. I never looked at his things. I was too scared, but the photo was right there. I could see it. I walked closer. I picked up the tablet. The photo showed Curtis. He was at a club, a jazz club. He was laughing. His arm was around a woman. The woman was young. She wore a sparkly gold dress. Her hair was long and wild. She was singing. She held a microphone. She looked happy. She looked alive. She looked like me, the old me. My hands started to shake. I looked at more photos. Curtis and the woman dancing, Curtis and the woman drinking, Curtis kissing her hand. I understood everything now. Curtis didn't love me. He never loved me. He loved what I was. A bright light, a shiny thing, a trophy. And when I stopped shining, when he broke my spirit, he went to find a new light, a new trophy. Someone young and bright, someone who didn't know him yet. I sat on the floor. The tablet fell from my hands. I couldn't breathe. My chest hurt. My whole body hurt. The front door opened. Curtis walked in. It was morning now. I sat there all night. He saw me on the floor. He smelled like perfume. He smelled like alcohol. "Imelda," he said, "what are you doing?" I stood up slowly. I picked up the tablet. I showed him the photos. "Who is she?" I asked. Curtis's face changed. He didn't look sorry. He looked angry. "You went through my tablet?" He said. "You have no right. Who is she?" I asked again. "I was working," he said. "A business dinner? You're lying," I said. Curtis laughed. It was a cold laugh. "Fine," he said. "You want the truth? Look at you. You are boring. You are just a housewife. You have no spark left. Why would I want you?" His words hit me. Each word was a knife. "I gave up everything for you," I said. My voice was shaking. "You gave up your career?" he said. "Please. You weren't good enough. You quit because you failed. Not for me." I stared at him. This man was a stranger. This man was cruel. This man was poison. "This is not love," I said quietly. "What?" he said. "This is not love," I said again. "This is destruction." Something changed inside me. The fog cleared. I saw everything clearly now. I walked to the bedroom. Curtis followed me. "Where are you going?" he asked. I didn't answer. I found my old bag. I opened the closet. I took out the box with my dancing shoes. "What are you doing?" Curtis asked. I put the box in my bag. I looked around the room. All the expensive things, the jewelry, the designer clothes. None of it was mine. None of it mattered. I took my bag. I walked to the door. "You're leaving?" Curtis said. "You have nothing. You have no money. You have nowhere to go. You need me." I stopped at the door. I turned around. I looked at him. "No," I said. "I don't." I opened my wallet. I had $200, money I saved secretly, little bits over months. I walked out the door. I walked out of the mansion. I walked out of the cage. The morning air hit my face. It was cold. It was fresh. I breathed in deeply. My hands were shaking. My legs were shaking. I was terrified. I had no plan. I had no place to go. I had almost no money, but I was breathing. Really breathing. For the first time in 5 years, I kept walking. I didn't look back. I didn't cry. I just walked, one foot in front of the other, away from the mansion, away from Curtis, away from the cage, into the unknown, into my life. I found a small apartment. It was tiny, one room. a bed, a small kitchen, a bathroom. The apartment was in a bad area. The building was old. The walls were dirty. The faucet in the bathroom leaked. Drip, drip, drip. All night long, the neighbors were loud. People shouted. Babies cried. Music played at all hours. I couldn't sleep well, but it was mine. I paid the rent with my $200. 1 month, that was all I had. I needed a job fast. I went to different places, restaurants, shops, offices. They all asked the same question. Where did you work? I had no answer. No experience, no skills they wanted. I was a dancer, I said once. The man laughed. We need a cashier, he said. Not a dancer. Nobody wanted me. Finally, a small diner hired me. The owner was an old man. He looked at my hands. Can you wash dishes? He asked. Yes, I said. You start tomorrow. I became a dishwasher. I became a cleaner. My hands were in hot water all day. Soap and grease, dirty plates, dirty cups, hundreds of them. They cracked and bled. These hands used to dance in the air. My back hurt all the time. I bent over sinks. I bent over floors. I mopped. I wiped. I carried heavy trash bags. At night, I went home. My whole body hurt. I was so tired. One night, I tried to stretch. I stood in my small room. I lifted my arms. I tried to bend. My body was so stiff. It didn't move right. Everything hurt. I tried to sing. I opened my mouth. A sound came out, but it cracked. It was ugly. It wasn't my voice. I stopped. I sat on my thin mattress. I put my head in my hands. The voices came. Curtis's voice in my head. You are boring. You have no spark. You weren't good enough. You failed. Maybe he was right. Maybe I was nothing. Maybe I should never have left. I looked at my phone. I could call him. I could say sorry. I could go back. At least I would have food. At least I would have a bed. My finger touched his number. I almost pressed it. Then I looked up. I looked at the window. The window was dirty, but I could see the moon. The moon was bright. The moon was beautiful. I saw this same moon from the mansion, but there, it wasn't mine. Nothing was mine there. Here, in this broken apartment, the moon was mine. This dirty window was mine. This hard life was mine. I put down the phone. I didn't call Curtis. Days passed. Weeks passed. I worked at the diner. I came home tired. I slept. I worked again. This was my life now. One night, I walked home from work. It was late. The streets were dark. I walked slowly. My feet hurt. Then I heard something. Music. Not music from a phone. Not music from a car. Real music. Piano music. I stopped walking. I listened. The music was beautiful. It was sad and sweet. Where was it coming from? I followed the sound. I walked down the street. The music got louder. I found an old building, a community center. The paint was peeling. The windows were dirty. The music came from the basement. I walked down the steps. There was a door. A sign on the door said, "The Clara Dance Studio." I stood outside. I listened to the piano. I closed my eyes. My body remembered. My feet wanted to move. My arms wanted to lift. Something woke up inside me. Something small. Something quiet. But something real. A spark. I opened my eyes. I looked at the door. I didn't go in. Not yet. But I would. I knew I would come back. I walked home. The music stayed in my head. That night, I didn't hear Curtis's voice. I heard the piano. I heard hope. The next night, I went back. I walked down the basement steps. I stood at the door. I took a deep breath. I opened the door. The smell hit me first. Sweat, wood, something else, something I knew. Rosin. The smell of dancers. My eyes filled with tears. I forgot this smell. I forgot how it felt like home. The studio was small. The floor was old wood. There were mirrors on one wall. A piano sat in the corner. A few chairs lined the sides. People were dancing. Young kids. Old people. They moved together. They laughed. They made mistakes. Nobody cared. A woman stood at the front. She was around 60 years old. Her hair was gray and pulled back. She wore all black. She was thin and straight. She looked strong. She saw me. She stopped talking. She stared at me. I wanted to leave. I felt scared, but she walked over. She didn't smile. I looked down. My feet were moving. Small movements. I didn't even know. I used to dance, I said quietly. Used to, she said. Your feet say different. I stopped, I said. Why? She asked. I didn't answer. I didn't know how. I'm Madame Clara, she said. This is my studio. I'm Imelda. You want to dance again? She asked. I don't have money, I said. I can't pay for classes. Clara looked at me. Her eyes were sharp, but not mean. You can clean, she said. The floors need cleaning every night. You clean, you practice. After everyone leaves. Deal? I looked at her. Deal, I said. That night, I stayed late. Everyone left. The studio became quiet. I got a mop. I got a bucket. I cleaned the floors. My back hurt, but it was different from the diner. This hurt felt good. This hurt meant something. After I finished, Clara came back. You have 1 hour, she said. Use it well. She left me alone. I stood in the middle of the floor. I looked at the mirrors. I opened the box. I took out my dancing shoes. They were old. The ribbons were faded, but they were mine. I put them on. My feet remembered the feeling. I stood up. I tried to move. It was terrible. My body was stiff. My balance was gone. I tried to lift my leg. I fell. I got up. I tried again. I fell again. I got angry, so angry. I threw my shoes across the room. I can't, I shouted. No, a voice said. Clara stood in the doorway. I didn't hear her come in. You can't dance like that, she said. You are dancing with his ghost. On your shoulders. Put him down. What? I said. You are trying to be perfect, she said. Perfect is dead. Perfect is a cage. She walked closer. Dance your pain, she said. Dance your anger. Don't dance to look pretty. Dance to survive. She left again. I stood there. Her words stayed with me. I picked up my shoes. I put them on. I started again. This time, I didn't try to be perfect. I didn't try to be graceful. I just moved. I moved my pain. I moved my anger. I moved my fear. It was ugly, but it was real. It was mine. Days passed. Weeks passed. Every night, I cleaned the floors. Every night, I danced. Clara started to stay. She watched me. She corrected me. Stronger, she said. From your center. Stop thinking. Just feel. She was tough. She never said good job, but she never gave up on me. My body started to change. My legs got stronger. My back got straighter. My balance came back. One night, I danced across the floor. I didn't fall. I didn't shake. I just moved. Clara nodded. Better, she said. Just that, but it meant everything. I started to hum while I danced. Just small sounds. Clara heard me. Louder, she said. I hummed louder. Sing? She said. I can't, I said. My voice is broken. So, she said, broken things still make sound. Sing. I opened my mouth. I sang. The sound was different. It wasn't my old voice. This voice was deeper, rougher, full of pain, but also full of something else, strength. I kept singing. I kept dancing. The two things came together. Clara watched. When I finished, she stood up. She walked over. She looked at me. Now you are dancing, she said. Tears ran down my face. But I was smiling. I was coming back. Not the old me, a new me. A stronger me. A real me. Every night, I worked at the diner. Every night, I cleaned the studio. Every night, I danced. My hands were still rough. My body still hurt. But my eyes were bright again. My heart was beating again. I was alive. One day, Clara made an announcement. We are having a showcase, she said. A fundraising show. Everyone will perform. My stomach dropped. Everyone? I asked. Yes, Clara said. Including you? No, I said quickly. I can't. I'm not ready. Clara looked at me. You are ready. I'm a dishwasher, I said. I'm a failed wife. I'm nobody. Clara walked over. She held my shoulders. You are an artist, she said. You will perform, not for them, for you. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. But I created a dance. It told a story about a bird. A bird in a cage. A bird that breaks free. My story. The night of the show came. I stood backstage. My hands shook. My legs shook. I wanted to run away. Clara came to me. She held a simple dress. It was blue. Not fancy. Just simple and clean. Put this on, she said. I put on the dress. Clara looked at me. Beautiful, she said. I can't do this, I whispered. Yes, you can, she said. The floor was old. There were no fancy lights, just some simple bulbs. The audience sat on folding chairs. They were neighbors, regular people. Clara played it. I closed my eyes. I took a breath. I began to dance. My body told the story. The cage, the pain, the fear, the struggle, then the breaking, the freedom, the flight. I sang while I danced. My voice was rough. My voice was deep, but it was strong. It was mine. I danced everything. All my pain, all my anger, all my hope. When I finished, I opened my eyes. The room was quiet. Then people stood up. They clapped. Some were crying. I felt something inside me, joy, pure joy. I found myself again. I was smiling. I couldn't stop smiling. Then I saw him. Curtis. He stood by the back door. He wore an expensive suit. He held a huge bunch of roses. Red roses. My smile died. Imelda, he said. He walked toward me. You were amazing. I didn't speak. I made a mistake, he said. A terrible mistake. Come home. I will produce your show. I have money. I have connections. We can be a power couple. Take these, he said. Come back to me. I looked at the roses. I looked at Curtis. I saw him clearly now. He wasn't tall anymore. He wasn't strong. He was weak. He was a man who needed to own things, to own people. No, I said. What? He said. No, I said again. You need me, I smiled. A calm smile. You loved the light, Curtis, I said, but you tried to catch it. You tried to own it. I am not a thing. I am not yours. He stared at me. I don't need you to produce me, I said. I don't need you to love me. I love me. I turned away. I walked toward the door. You'll fail, he shouted. You have nothing. I stopped. I looked back. I have everything, I said. I walked out the back door. The night air was cool. It felt wonderful on my skin. Clara stood outside. She smiled at me. Other dancers from the studio were there. They hugged me. They congratulated me. Let's eat, Clara said. I'm buying burgers. We walked to a small diner, not the one where I worked. A different one. A loud, cheap, happy place. We sat together. We ate burgers. We laughed. We talked. I looked around the table. These were my people now. My chosen family. My real family. I didn't have a mansion. I didn't have money. I didn't have expensive things. But I had my voice. I had my body. I had my freedom. I had myself. I destroyed the life that was killing me. I saved the life that mattered. My life. Outside, the moon was bright, the same moon that watched me suffer, the same moon that watched me survive. Now, it watched me live, really live, and I was finally, truly free. Our story ends here, but your English journey continues. If this video helped you practice listening in a calm, gentle way, please support the channel. Press like, share this video with one person you care about, and subscribe to Kaviko English Storytime. Every subscription is like a small sunflower in our garden. Together, they make a bright field of stories for learners everywhere. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new chapter. Thank you for listening, breathing, and feeling with me in simple English today.